And go. All right, so for today's class, we're still looking at solving equations with one variable with absolute values. Yesterday we talked about square roots. Today we're going to talk more about absolute values. Our success criteria states that I will be successful when I can properly perform the first step to solving absolute values and then also understand the whole idea when it comes to absolute values. I'm going to pull up our whiteboard so we could go through about 2 or 3 examples, and then we'll go through a quizzes and a worksheet. All right, so let's look at the first example. If we had something that says 2x, the absolute value of 2x is equal to 3. If I wanted to go about and solve this question, I know I have to separate it into 2 parts, all right? So separating into 2 parts means I'm gonna have 2x equals positive 3 and 2x equals negative 3, all right? And then I'll go through and I'll solve that. So x is equal to 3 over 2 and x is equal to negative 3 over 2. All right, so I have that equation, and then I equal it to the positive and the negative of what it's equal to. Simple. So let's look at a quick example. Let's just increase this just a little bit more. If I have 2x minus 3, and there's the absolute value of that, is equal to, let's say x. How would I separate this equation if I'm going to solve it? All right, so we do 2x minus 3 equals x, and then 2x minus 3 equals negative x. And then, of course, we go through and we move things from side to side so that we have the x's on one side and everything else on the other side, or in general, the variable on one side and everything else on the other side. So with that, I'll do plus 3, right? And then I'll do minus x, and I'll do plus 3. And this is a minus x as well. So then 2x minus x is x. This is 0, that's 0, x is equal to 3. And then it's the same thing on this side. X, I'll do a plus x. I'll do a plus x. And then there's a plus 3 right here somewhere. Technically, there's like a plus 0, but why do I need to write plus 0? All right, so 3x is equal to 3, and then you divide both sides by 3. So x is equal to 1. All right, so that's how you kind of solve those 2 questions. You put the negative and the positive off each side. Now let's do one more quick question. All right, the next question we're going to do is the absolute value of 2x minus 3 is equal to 4x plus 1. How would I go about separating these two? Because you got to have 2 equations and then solve both of them, all right? So how would I go about solving this one? Recording right here. So my 2x minus 3 would equal to the positive of it. So I just keep it the same. And then I would also have 2x minus 3 equals the negative off the whole thing. And then once you get this now, then you know you're gonna have to do the distributive property. Ideally, you're just changing the sign of what it was. All right, so this was a positive 4x, so it becomes a negative 4x. This was a positive 1, so it becomes a negative 1. And then you still have your 2x minus 3. This side is the same. And then you go through and you move variables from side to side. In this case, I'm going to move my 2x. I'm going to move it over here. And then I'm going to do my minus 1, minus 1. So minus 4 is equal to 2x, right? So x is equal to negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. And with this one, I'm going to move my 4x on the other side, right? It's just easier. And then I'm going to move my plus 3 on the other side. So then 6x is equal to 2. So x is equal to 2 over 6, or I could say 1 over 3. That's basically how we solve these absolute values. You know, you have the absolute value sign, you split it up into two equations, and then you're going to get two answers. Okay, we just got to ensure that we're identifying the positive and the negative portion of it. I do want to bring us back to our success criteria. When we look at this, we talked about identifying what the absolute values are and what it really means, but then also ensuring that we're doing the right first step whenever we're solving these equations. If you have questions about this, as always, reach out.